Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance to read. And we are spread across the continent, the north, the south, the east, and the west. And we welcome this summit. This is a decision that was made by the African Union, and the purpose of this summit was that together as Africans, we can build a narrative around climate change. We can be able to build the political statement that we can use not only in the UNFFC processes, but in other spaces, including the UN, and also with the World Bank and other institutions. And therefore, we received the offer by Kenya to host this summit with a lot of enthusiasm, and we were glad that we got the opportunity to be able to come together and map and chart a common path and a common narrative that we can speak together. It's therefore that we associate with what this statement here says. It's our statement that we've brought together, and we are concerned as the regional CSOs with two aspects of this summit. The first aspect is the process of the planning. The African Union has what we call the blueprint, Agenda 2063, and Agenda 2063 has certain aspirations. Aspiration number 6 of the African Union sees a continent whose development is led by the people, whose decision-making is participatory, and particularly the women, the youth, and the children. And we are concerned that the process through which this particular summit was organized did not meet or did not even build on that aspiration and help us, being the first summit, to set a standard that can be followed in other processes. The planning in itself, we are concerned that despite the fact that civil society organizations came together, organized themselves, and even wrote to the organizers, to the secretariat, and to the political system, we did not see the people and their collectives and their organizations being incorporated in the various structures that were used. Thematic groups were formed to organize this conference. In those thematic groups, we saw foreigners, we saw more powerful private sector, but we did not see inclusion of the local private sector. We did not see the African face. And that denied the African people the opportunity to fulfill aspiration number 6. The second part that the Africa regional CSOs are concerned about is the content of the declaration. And we are calling that this declaration, number 1, it does not deviate from what we have agreed before, particularly the March 4th. Those of you who have been involved in the climate negotiations, there are things there that people have fought for many years. Issues related to justice, issues related to common but differentiated responsibility. The issue of common and differentiated responsibility simply means that we have a river, we have one rich person in the community who went and put their waste, their everything into that river and destroyed that river. And now we have to look for an alternative source of water. We have to clean the river. Do we all bear the same responsibility? And we have agreed that it's not shared responsibility, it is common but differentiated responsibility. So the declaration must closely guide against that. The second is putting people at the center. We must not have a declaration that pushes people to the periphery of the process and of everything else. And that's why issues of adaptation are important. That's why, especially when you look at the part on agriculture, we must not use this summit to glorify and justify more investments in commercial agriculture that has put us in the problems that we are in today. We must use this conference to raise the profile of the issues facing the small-scale farmers, put small-scale farmers and agroecology, those pathways that are sustainable, the local knowledge that we have. We must emphasize that, and we must be able to invest in that. Those are our concerns, and we believe it's not too late. There's still time, and we can make sure that the declaration and the process are right, and they speak to the way that the African Union operates, but does not deviate or neutralize, make it harder going forward. Thank you very much.